Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. I hope everyone is having a great day. I have something on the table in front of me from the folks over at Off Grid, and I really like it. This is the Grizzly. It is a chef's knife, basically, but it is also an outdoor knife, camp knife. Look, this thing sort of does it all. And when I first read all that on their website, I was like, well, maybe. But then it landed, and I took it over to the property that I manage, and I did some feather sticking with it, and I chopped some wood with it, and then I brought it home and used it in the kitchen. I probably should have done it in the other order. That would have been a little more sanitary, but that's not how my life works all the time. So we did the best we could. Now, this is phenomenal in both applications. It really is. This is my favorite kitchen knife. It is a Hammerstall. It is sort of a Santoku style blade. I use this primarily in the kitchen. Everything from, well, everything, right? It's my sort of go-to everything knife. For the longest time, I have wanted something with a similar geometry, particularly in my camp kitchen. The Grizzly here offers that geometry. It is surprisingly nimble for such a big knife. It is Aus 8 steel, but their Aus 8 holds an edge very well. Like I said, I worked with this thing, did some basic wood processing, and then brought it home and decided, well, I cleaned it, but then I decided not to sharpen it. And I got to tell you, no problems at all. The handle is sort of a sticky, rubberized material that is very comfortable in hand, and you've got all of this great blade. I mean, it is more than 2 inches, right? Now, it does have a flat here at the top, so it's a high flat grind, not a full flat. But the way this thing is designed, you can rock chop with it. You can absolutely do thin slices with it. What a marvelous tool. It really is. It comes with either injection molding, I think it's Kydex, with a Kydex sheath. It's actually made very well. It even has a little hole down here to let any moisture that you happen to build up in the knife out, which is a really great feature. I wish everybody who made sheaths did that. I put a standard belt clip on it here and holds it very nicely. The folks over at Off Grid are essentially, they went the other way. So I have a lot of fixed blades and even folding knives, and I always say this even works in the kitchen. Well, the folks over at Off Grid decided to do something I think is really smart. They went the other way. They took a kitchen-style knife and made it exceptionally useful as a camp knife, which is just sort of a brilliant reversal of the way things normally go. This is going to be a permanent part of my outdoor and camping collection. Now, I have a bunch of other fixed blades that I take with me, stuff that's maybe a little better for wood processing. But none of them are better for all of it, right? This offers the weight of a chopper, and yet it is very balanced, right? You can even do fine work with the tip if you're cutting up very thin slices of onion or something. But if you need to, if you wanted to, this would be a perfectly suitable outdoors knife in every other regard. Now, one of the things I really like is you can see down here there's this sharpening choil. They made the thick part here stop below the choil, below the blade, so you get full contact, right? The handle almost, yeah, it touches just a little bit, but not much. You can really get down and chop with this thing. What a marvelous, excellent tool. The scales are removable if you do meat processing or game processing with something like this, and you want to get those off there to make sure you get all of the remaining grit and blood and everything else out of there. This is removable, so you can do that, which I think is a really nice feature. And that also means that if you're the kind of person that makes scales, and I know some of you do this, you could make your own scales for this if you wanted something a little fancier. Aus 8 is a really good kitchen knife steel. It allows for easy sharpening. God, this thing comes down to just a razor edge because of how tall it is. Anyway, it allows for easy in-the-field sharpening, and yet it holds an edge very well. It is very stainless, which is excellent for this type of knife. Now, they do make one of these that isn't blacked out. given my choices, I probably would have gotten that one because I'm not, you know, I like the non-blacked out stuff a little better. But to be honest, it doesn't make one bit of difference to me one way or the other. If you like the way the blacked out one looks, get this. Now, these are about 90 bucks, $89, 90 bucks, something like that. There will be a link to the affiliate link that they have given me in the description of this video. If you're interested in this, please feel free to check it out. Let's get the specs out of the way. Lots of blade. Let's line it up here. Yeah, there we go. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just a little over 6 inches of cutting on 6.5 inches of Aus 8. The grip area on this really comfortable handle is 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 down to the end of the sweep. So 4 1/4 inches. Look at all that room, right? It's not massively thick blade stock, right? Don't pry with this. I mean, you could because it's thick enough to take it, but you're not supposed to pry with your knives anyway. But because it's thin stock, again, this thing, it's basically if a cleaver and a Santoku kitchen knife and a field knife got together and had a baby, it would be the off-grid Grizzly here. I really like it. I keep saying that. Once again, this is my favorite kitchen knife, right? This does everything that does, but is also more versatile and designed for outdoor use. I think it's fantastic. Now the thing overall, let's get it lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 1/4 inches overall. It is not an insignificant knife, but again, because it comes with this excellent sheath, it packs and carries very well. It really does. Let's do some size comparison stuff. Well, again, we'll do it up against a full-size chef's knife. Right? As you can see, it's a little bit shorter than one of those. Let's get that up there a little bit so you can see a little better. There we go. In the world of folding knives, we've got a couple of old standards on the table today. Here it is against the Rat Model 1, right? And our old dear friend, the Bug Out. Right, it is a big knife. It's supposed to be. It is a kitchen implement that has also been designed. I keep saying this because it's so cool to me. Also been designed for outdoor and field use. What a marvelous way to approach that. I have another of their knives on the table. Something that's going to get a full review here very shortly. This is Hoglet. This is another superb knife from them. Watch for this. This is coming either a little later this week or next week. I'm not sure. Should you get one? Yeah, you should. If you even barbecue a lot and don't have a good knife for out at your barbecue station, if you camp a lot and don't have a really good knife for your camp kitchen, you know, a lot of us tend to carry old knives out in our camp kitchen or stuff that we don't really use that much anymore. Things that we can afford to use and abuse a little bit. The guys, the folks over at Off-Grid have made a knife that allows you to do all those things. And also, if you had to run off and do survival stuff, seriously, this is it. I have sliced tomatoes very thinly, onions very thinly. I use this to process a fairly good roast to make, or pork roast to make chili verde. This is an excellent tool. It really is. And that's where we're going to go ahead and leave it today. Oh, you know what? No, let's weigh it, because that does matter if you're going to carry it around out in the field. The Off-Grid Grizzly comes in at 11.4 ounces, which is not insignificant. But when compared to a full-size chef knife, right, it's half an ounce heavier, right? It's really, really not that heavy. And again, really well balanced. I wish I could show that to you in a more effective way, but if you grip this thumb and forefinger right here, it just floats. It just floats. It doesn't go tail end, it doesn't go nose end down. It's just really well balanced. So you can work with it in many, many excellent ways. And we'll do the blade stock since we're talking about it. I said that it was thin. It is 121 thousandths. So it starts thin and finishes very thin. And there we go. This is the Off-Grid Grizzly. A superb knife from them. I gotta tell you, except for a few of their knives which are a little bit too small for my hand, and I know I've said this before, I have not gotten a bad knife from Off-Grid. Now, I know part of that is who they have making them for them. They pick excellent companies, that's true. But it's the design aesthetic. The folks over at Off-Grid, whoever is putting pen to paper and creating knife design, which is then getting transferred to the people making them for them, is doing a spectacular job. This is no exception. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this knife or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments below. I hope to see you next time. Take care.